Hi everyone, I'm Sandy. I've been requested to create a video on wrapping your head wrap for ATS basket balancing. So it's not something I'm great at, but I will attempt to give you some pointers on tying your head wrap for baskets. It's not the same as I normally would for just a head wrap without balancing. And then also for swords, you might wrap it slightly different, but this one is for baskets. So let's get started. I got my fabric. It's about 3 yards of cotton. It's, I believe it's a broadcloth, maybe a light to medium weight. You can use whatever works for you and whatever length works for you. You might not need as much length as I do, which is 3 yards. And but I've always had this and it's been working for me. So I've put my hair up. I have a flat head, so I don't have much of a ridge here to keep a head wrap on, so I have to use my hair to create some kind of shape for the head wrap to stay on. So what I've done today, which I don't normally do, is I've tied 2 buns on the top of my head to act as sort of buffers or bumpers, so that the basket doesn't fall backwards. So, and also to keep the head wrap tied on. So I've got this, make the fabric, I'm gonna put it over my head, halfway. It's gonna be covering my face a little bit at first, but that's okay, you can adjust it later. I'm gonna grab the 2 ends and cross them in the back. And then I'm going to just start wrapping. So at this point here, crossing in front, I'm going to get it in the spot where I feel like it's more secure. And then you might even at this point get your basket to see if this is going to be the right level for you. So this looks like it's pretty level, and so then I want to not build up too high here. I want it to be quite flat, so still got some length to tuck in, so I'm gonna tuck one end in and the other one as well. Don't have to get my arm in the way. Try to do this quickly. All right, at this point, it's still covering my face a little bit, but I want to see how the basket will sit. And I can kind of shape it, smush it. All right, it's not so bad so far. I've got my buns in the back, kind of helping prop it up, and then I've got the front bumper that levels it out. So from here, I can grab, so I don't want this hanging down, so I'm going to grab from the inside here, pull up, try not to pull up this part. Make your angry face. And then you have a nice coverage for around your face. I need it pretty low because if I build it too high, it'll just fall right off. So for my shape of the shape of my head, I need it to be fairly close to my forehead. So everybody's head is shape differently, so you're going to have to practice for your own experiment with your own head shape. So that's looking pretty good as far as shape goes. And if I wanted to not be too complicated with my head wrap, I might just put some jewelry in and a flower and be ready to go. I do like to add a little interest, like an accent scarf. So this is my favorite, the silver polka dots with a band of, it's a scarf that I've folded up, and it's pretty thin, sheer, so it shouldn't add too much bulk to your wrap, but it'll add some character. And just tuck. I don't use too many pins. My head wrap should be tight enough that I can tuck things in that won't slip out, and I won't need to use too many pins. I can even tie knots if I can, but I like tucking. I got some little danglies that are, I could probably cut those off later, but so here we have kind of one of those really easy decorative scarves that you just put one on and it's fabulous. So still have a good shape for the head wrap. And you want to practice or check your head wrap with your head level. So if you're checking it out like this is how you're going to have to dance as well. So, and believe me, I've done it. Try to keep your head level while you're checking on your head wrap. And if you need to make any adjustments, you can always do that, you know, just pulling it down, tucking things in, squishing the hair, checking again. So that looks pretty good. And then from here, you just start to decorate. Here's one of my tips. So I actually teach a workshop on head wraps and costuming, old school style, and so I'm probably not going to give you all my secrets, but one thing I'll tell you is that for those flowers you want to have stay in your head wrap. If you're going to go and buy nice fabric flowers at the craft store, I like ones that look real. Fabric, silk, whatever, velvet's great. Anyway, I take off the stem, and usually there's this little pin. I don't know if the camera will adjust to that, but there's a little notch there, or a peg that's what is securing all the flower petals in. So I just stick a corsage pin through crosswise through that, and then I'm going to show you, see where it's going to go. I usually like it on the right, so I'm going to place the pin up, and it's goes straight up into the head wrap, like so. Then you take another pin, nice, I've colored this with nail polish, and then I poke through, go find some place in the center of the flower, and then I poke it crosswise from either this way or this way from the pin that you just put in that went up. So you're doing a cross. I'm going to go backwards. You're making a cross with your pinning, right? So really secure. So that way you're pinning in up and then pinning in either this way or the other way. So that way there's no sliding out, or if you're sticking pins straight in, they won't just pull right out. So, just finish off my wrap decorations. So if anyone wants to host me for a head wrap workshop, I totally dig that. So I love talking about the old costuming. We got a head ornament. So be careful of bringing the head ornament too high so that the upper point doesn't take away from the balance of your basket. And this should be pretty even. And so I'm going to put my fancy vintage hat pins. Again, crossing the pins. Don't poke your head. So I might go in sideways or diagonally. And vintage pins tend to be really strong, so if you can, oops, that's too low. If you can find them on eBay or wherever, Etsy. So at this point, I probably wouldn't wear a bindi. That's coming from me, who makes them. And then one for the bottom. I'm going to push that one straight up. So, those are kind of the starting points, and then I might throw in some of these nail head strips or a shell choker. That would be nice. So, a number of things that you can use to decorate. Jewelry pieces, earrings, brooches, and just have to have a way to secure them in. So things that have holes or that are fabric like this are really nice to use as decoration. I'm going to secure this because this will flap around. So, and then also I've made these hat pins myself. They're a little flimsy though, but I still use them. I went to the bead store and they had make it yourself hat pins. And I usually use one to kind of secure the back, tie all of the fabric pieces together. And hopefully not stick my finger. Just a little stopper at the end. Adds a little bit of decoration there. And if you want, you can add things like things that dangle, or other little bits. Depends on how complicated you want to get. But the idea is to keep the shape of your head wrap so that you can still balance your basket. So I can keep it pretty simple. Other than that, I think that's it. So I hope this has helped you in some way. Again, you're going to need to practice for your own head shape and with your own hair. You know, some people don't have long hair like I do, and may not need to create all of the bumpers and things that I do. But So just play around with it. It just takes practice, just like dance. So good luck and happy balancing.